perspective is one of the methods we use to translate 2D plan into a 3D image. So when we do interior design, we're trying to come up with something relatively to scale so the client can see the proportions. Perspectives, being geometrical in nature, are usually set to scale, and it will appear like something like this, right? A drawing like this would be able to tell you that all the elements are proportioned, the height and everything is measurable. You can actually see grids, right? And these grids merely represent the size of a tile. If we say that this is a 1 foot by 1 foot tile, therefore, if you can count the number of tiles, you can count the distance, how it recedes into the background, and all these are, can you see the lines? So what perspective drawing basically means is there's a vanishing point, and the vanishing point is where all the lines converge into. So I've got an example here that looks like this, right? And you see there is a marking, there's a yellow marking here. Yellow marking actually shows you the space that we want to convert into a 3D. And you see the red lines. The red lines are the grid lines, which is supposed to give the proportion of the space. So these red lines are drawn at 3 feet square. So the plan has to be accurate in the first place. The plan must be drawn to scale. Okay? Then only we can capture that proportion into the 3D. The next example is basically translating all the red lines into a grid on the ground. Okay? And you see a vanishing point here. See this line is the most critical line. It is called the eye level line. The eye level determines very much how high we are, from what point we are looking at the perspective. So it's usually taken at 5 feet. And vanishing point is where we are looking into the point on the wall on the other side. Okay? From this vanishing point, we bring out lines. Okay? All these lines are called octagonals. And then we plot in the wall on the other side. Okay? And you can see every grid is corresponding to the plan here, which is actually a 3 feet grid. So this being 3 feet grid, 3 times 4 makes it 12 feet. So this is a 12 feet distance. Okay? After having set this one out, we go on to the next one where we put in some of the elements of the design, which is basically another sketch. Okay? Here you see furniture, walls, curtain, doors, ceiling, cabinets, mirrors. All these are placed into the grid. After this stage, we finalize the design and go on to a black and white. This black and white merely shows you the form or whatever we want to put in. These are all freehand sketches. Freehand drawings are made basically to communicate with your client or your subordinates as and when you need to communicate an idea, right, as quickly as possible. So we use the freehand method. This thing will only take about 15 to 20 minutes at the most to complete, right? Then if you feel that this is suitable or acceptable, then you can apply color onto this. But in design or in interior design, our final product is the beginning of the actual process. So that's why in reality, we do not want to spend too much time on the perspective, because the perspective is just a means of conveying an idea. It is not an art piece by itself. We don't sell the artwork, alright? And this is also subject to changes and amendments as we go along. So therefore, this is only a tool for conveying your ideas.